Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Sunday morning. Well, with us today is Senator Ashley Moody from the great state of Florida, and Florida is doing great. I mean, I'll tell you, it's everybody in Florida knows how to say, come on down. Well, Senator Moody, do you know how to say, come on down?
Not only do I know, I was working with Governor DeSantis during the disastrous Biden administration, pretty much doing everything the opposite of not only what that administration did, but what every other state did in regards to public safety and prosperity. And sure enough, if you build it, if you protect it, if you have the right policies, they will come. And so Florida is now, leading as one of the top states for net in migration. Not only that, we have police officers that are leaving their posts in Seattle and New York and Chicago. They're all coming to Florida. It really is a sign. People will show what policies are working and with their feet. And it really is a sign that we have figured out how to remember what government should be, what government should not be. And it is paying off. We're breaking tourism records, new business formation records, education records. Really, Florida is on fire, and I am so proud to represent the great state of Florida in the United States Senate.
Well, Senator, you were the Attorney General of Florida for 7 years or 6 years, 2019 to 2025, and you kept Florida safe. That made people feel that they should come down because they felt safer down there. And then when Marco Rubio became Secretary of State, you became the United States Senator from Florida. And how does it feel? I mean, is it a new challenge? Is Washington a new challenge?
Washington is one of the greatest challenges I have ever taken on. But I tell you, I show up every day using everything in my background, not just my time as Attorney General, where I fought to really keep the state of Florida open during COVID, fought back unnecessary and burdensome regulations, fought the disastrous immigration policies. We saw a lot of wins out of Florida that affected and helped the rest of the nation during that cram down by Biden and his radical handlers. And I tell you, bringing with me my personal experiences. We have the oldest boy is in the Army. My husband's a law enforcement officer. I'm still a mother of a kid in school. I bring all of those passions and protective instincts to D.C. now on behalf of all Americans and certainly my own citizens. And I have never felt in a position more useful that I can use everything in my background to serve the American interests and push forward to make sure we are truly getting things done that the American people, we the people, want for our nation. Right now I think a lot of people have lost trust that the swamp is working, is moving forward in a way that Americans, we the people that are supposed to have the power, want. And so I am determined to make sure that we right that ship, that we rebuild that trust, and that we get things done on behalf of the American people.
One of the big things that is going on in America right now, and it's in the Senate, it's in the Congress, is the Save America Act. And the American people have to feel like that their vote counts when they go vote. Tell us how you feel about it, and tell us where do you think we are with it.
Yeah, this is a great question, and I know it's on top of mind for everyone, and I can tell you it certainly is in Florida. When I travel around, this is one of the main topics people want to talk to me about, and it's not just people that are of the Republican Party. It's those that aren't affiliated with a party. It's even those that are in the Democratic Party. And they want to understand and make sure that only Americans are voting in American elections. The challenges you have seen in the last few years, especially within the last administration, many states just started branding themselves as sanctuary cities, handing out IDs, at the same time handing out registrations to vote, sending out mass amounts of unsolicited ballots, I mean, these are all things that degrade the integrity of our elections. And if there's one thing that a democratic society relies on, if we the people are indeed in charge of our own government as a free people that are trying to govern ourselves, we have to believe that the people we're putting in office to do that are people that we've put there and not any other outside interest. And, you know, I am constantly shocked at the reality we are now battling a party who is, in their own words, caring more about non-American citizens. In fact, you know, you've seen probably the more recent clip of one of the Democratic senators that says, you know, we need to deliver for the people we care about most, undocumented Americans. That is their mentality. And so you see what's wrong with what we're facing now. When you have over 70% of Democrats, over 80% of independents, over 90% of Republicans all believe we need an act that requires voter ID, proof of citizenship, passed. That's the Save America Act, of which I was an original co-sponsor.
Wow.
When we can't get that done, when that many people want to get that done, that's a problem. And I am committed. I've been working with some of my colleagues to be very aggressive in pushing this forward, because I think it underscores really a premise of what this country was built on, really the fundamental structure of our democracy, and we need to deliver it for the American people.
I agree with you 110%. I do not know. You know, I was a Democrat 30 years ago, 35 years ago, when Bill Clinton was president. And the world has changed. I don't think Bill Clinton can get 2 votes in the Democratic Party right now. We have to make sure one American, one vote, and make sure America goes in the right direction.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are scratching their heads and feel the same way you do. And I think this kind of goes back to what I was just talking about. You now have a party, whereas before, you know, decades ago, you may have very differing opinions on how we were going to make progress on particular issues in terms of policy and whether or not you should be spending more or spending less. I mean, you might have had different issues on policies, but at the core, most of those in the United States Congress believed in the fundamental principles of this country, meaning we were all working towards a government, a true democracy, yet we were based on being a government that didn't tell people how to live their lives. They didn't force themselves into markets. They didn't try to pass policies that made people rely almost entirely on the government, on other people's money. I mean, that's an entirely different form of government. I mean, that's communism, socialism. That's some things you are dealing with right there in New York. But that's what we're dealing with right now. You have one party that really, in their actions,
they've lost their mind, Senator.
Daily, in their words, they demonstrate they want this country to be fundamentally different than how it was founded. And that's what we're up against right now. And so it is a challenge. I hope people are listening to your show, are paying attention to what the Democrats are doing in terms of their obstruction, in terms of what they're trying to achieve for this country. They are trying to turn it inside out and make it into something it was never meant to be. And I, for one, am glad I am there at this moment in time to fight against that.
I agree 100%. Thank you for coming on this Sunday morning, and God bless you and God bless America.